Corey, I'll start with you. You've had a little bit of an opportunity here. You're obviously running the Craftsman Truck Series this weekend, but you will also be on the Amazon booth or stage, I should say.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this season, what it's looked like for you, and then just the opportunity to get behind the wheel this weekend.
Yeah, it's been a blast, especially working with those prime guys, top to bottom. That group, such a group of pros, especially to sit there next to Carl and to just see how his mind works and how he attacks not only just the sport but now TV. How much of a pro he was. It's no coincidence he had all the success that he's had. So it's been really neat to learn from him as well as all those guys. Those guys are indoctrinating me a little bit and how to really attack TV. So that's been a fun thing to learn. It's been a challenge, but it's been seems to be well received by the fans. Hopefully they enjoy it as well. We have a lot of fun doing it. And then my schedule got a little busier over the last couple of weeks. Once Dickerson gave me a ring to drive a couple truck races, I see Bob here with a little smirk on his face, front row. So yeah, it's been a lot of emotions going back in there. Can I give you my analogy? Leanne's probably going to put her hand over her face. Here's my analogy. It's like when you work building a house for 5 years, and then your wife becomes TikTok star and says she's not happy anymore. She kicks you out, and then she calls you back a year later, and you have to go live in the guest room, and she's there with her new boyfriend. That's how this thing goes. So, but I've missed the just like the trenches of trying to work together for a common goal, because it's the only thing. Racing's the only thing in life that you can be measured by your effort, good, bad, or indifferent. So I've missed like the working collectively to try to get a truck faster, or a car faster, or yourself faster, figuring out what your weaknesses are and making them better. And I'm really pumped up to drive this truck with Alan and that whole group, and to see some smiling faces back in that shop. They've obviously been bringing some hot rods to the racetrack on the Cup side, and I'm excited for a little bit of a challenge to get this truck program dialed in a little bit, and I'm happy they tapped me to do it.
All right. Well, now open for questions. If you have a question for Corey, we will get a mic to you, and we'll start up front with Bob.
When Dickerson first asked you, was there any hesitation? I mean, I don't know whether could you say no, or are you contracted obligately?
That's a great question. I didn't give him a choice to read the fine print. I just, I inevitably said yes. I think I do still have a ton of respect for Bill Anthony and Jeff Dickerson and all those guys over there. So they asked me to do it, and I was like, yeah, sure. I've got some weekends open, and and running that truck's going to be the best thing relative to the field I've ever driven. So to get in there, run some racetracks that I feel really strong at, obviously to win is the goal, but to just progress that truck team. They've had a couple off weeks with Kyle driving, so would love to just have a couple great runs off the bat here and see where it goes. I don't really have any outcome that's desirable besides just to win and let everything else play out for itself. I really like the pace of life right now with my 3 boys all under 5. Spent a lot of time at home with them doing the TV stuff. It's been a blast, and if it's got to be the right group to go to war with, because it does take everything you have each and every week if you want to go be competitive. So, and I'm willing to do that. I told the wife and told everybody, Alan included, like, if I'm doing this, I'm all in. You're going to get all I got every week for 9 weeks. So I'm excited to jump in and see what we could do.
Kind of from the comments in February, was there any hesitation to be all in and to do this?
You've known me for a long time, Bob, so I've said a lot of dumb things on camera, so that was just another one. For people who heard that, there was a lot of them. For those who haven't heard that, I said something about not going on a truck series and racing in front of 12 fans, so just to clear context up for everybody. I said that on the morning of a 5-day fast, Bob, and you have asked me that sort of question for like my 8 years of my career. So there was just that day I wasn't in the mood to play around. So I wish I wouldn't have added that 12 comment bit, right? Because then people within the truck garage take offense to it. Then people, like, there's so many things that it came out of, and it's such a negative light for just a couple comments that I said when I was hangry, that it did make me, like, there was no hesitation me coming back to run. I try to run as much as I can, especially, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of kids, drivers that would love this 9-race opportunity. So that's not remiss on me. Like, I'm going to take it that serious. Like, this is my shot. And I've been, making a living at this for 10 years, but I don't want to just be an also-ran and not take it serious and be in the way for somebody who might deserve it more than I do. So I take all that in consideration. I'm going to try all I've got. But do I take it? Do I change my perception of, as a driver, my only focus in my entire life was to be a Cup Series driver? No. That's all I want to do. That's all that I cared to work for since I was 12 years old, right? So in the frame of mind, I was really pissed off and hungry. But like, that was my focus, is to try to get back to Sunday with the right group. But now this is like fun. I've been running some modified races, been running some late model races. I want to have fun, because this garage right here off to the left, the Cup garage, it takes a lot of the fun out of it. It really does, because it's just a grind, and especially when you're not running as good as you want to run, it legitimately sucks the life out of you if you're not getting any sort of external validation from it. So I was sitting actually in the truck today. I'm long-winded today. I'm kind of fired up, and I've drank a couple Celsiuses, but I was sitting in the truck today during practice, and I just thought, like, I get to drive this thing. Somebody else owns it. Somebody's paying me to drive it. Like, this is the best job ever. And I haven't had that thought in like 6 years. So just the perspective of going in there and enjoying it and really embracing it is what I'm excited for the next couple weeks.